Before the video starts, I just want to mention that only about 28% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, why not drop a sub? I mean, it's super easy and it helped me out a ton. Anyways, enjoy the video. Hey guys, it's Phantom here, and welcome back to a brand new video, everyone, where in today's video, I'm going to be recalling a time in which I almost made a terrible mistake. And you know guys, there's no doubt in my mind that I have indeed made a ton of mistakes in this game, some arguably much more terrible than others, but this one was something, or at least going to be something, had I actually carried out what I was originally going to do. And what am I talking about exactly? Well, chances are it's the title of the video, so you probably already know. That's right, everyone. Today I am going to be talking about the time I almost trashed my amulet of divine influence in Wizard101. Yes, it's true, that really did almost happen. I seriously almost deleted one of the rarest, if not the actual rarest item in this entire game without a second thought. Some of you might already be wondering how I almost managed this incredible feat, but for those who don't know much about the Amulet of Divine, I'd like to give a bit of background, just so you understand the level of idiocy, just level of pure idiocy that is required to almost make a mistake like this with this rare of an item. So, the Amulet of Divine. This amulet is pretty crazy to get for a couple of reasons, actually. First of all, I believe it was one of the first, if not the first amulet to give critical and critical block, a staple nowadays, right, for a lot of amulets that you can get, but back then it was a pretty big deal, since, you know, everyone and their mom was trying to maximize, you know, their critical chance just because of how good critical was back then. And second of all, the drop chance for the amulet was extremely low, and I mean extremely low. You honestly probably have a much better chance of winning fucking Powerball than you do of receiving the Amulet of Divine Influence from Hades. Okay, maybe not, but you get my point. The thing was insanely rare. Probably the rarest item in the game back then, and that might even hold true today. Although I am less sure about that, of course. So, you got this item, right, with stats that have basically never even been seen before on this particular item. And on top of that, it's a super rare drop. With all of, you know, with all this going just for the Amulet of Divine, it eventually became the most coveted item in the entire game by far. It's funny because you guys know how sometimes something can be so rare that it almost achieves like a certain mythical reputation, just in that so many people are unsure of its existence even though it really does exist. You know, that the actual thing sort of becomes like a myth regardless, sort of like just the masses almost gaslighting themselves in a way. Well, this ended up happening all of those years ago with the Amulet of Divine. So many people were unsure of this thing existing simply because no one had it. It was definitely talked about quite a bit, but, you know, you'd be doing a Tartarus run back in the day, and someone in your group would be asking if you can actually indeed, you know, get the amulet from the dungeon. Because you hear about it from people all the time, but you never actually see it. There's never actually any visual proof. At least back then there wasn't much of it, because no one had it. It was just that rare. And I mean, it was always possible, and still is to this day, to, you know, run into somebody who does actually have it. I mean, a lot more people definitely, have it now, even though there are better alternatives these days. But back then, man, to actually find someone who had it was something else. Just because the damn thing wouldn't fucking drop. I mean, seriously. That is, until one day it did, for me. And I had absolutely no clue what it was. So essentially what happened was I was doing a normal Tartarus run for the robe, obviously. If you saw my previous video, you would know I had wanted the Hades robe quite a bit back then, but I didn't get it this time around. Instead, I got the Amulet of Divine. The amulet that wizards from all over the globe were collectively horny for. And I actually got it. and what do? What is the first thing that I do to celebrate receiving the amazingly coveted Amulet of Divine Influence? Did I jump for joy, take a screenshot, maybe run around the house in a frenzy? No, actually none of those. I simply hovered over the item with my mouse, looked at the crit and block stats, thinking it was some sort of shitty wand, and proceed to go into my backpack to trash the item. What the fuck, Phantom? Okay, actually, I will cut myself a little bit of slack just because I was a dumb kid, as well as someone who, wasn't used to seeing those kinds of stats on amulets. So, you know what? It makes sense I got a little bit confused. However, the end result would have not been very cool, as during that time, as I previously mentioned, that amulet was pretty much the best one that you could get, and I almost completely got rid of it. Man, I would have been pissed though. But luckily, I didn't. Luckily, I saw reason, and at the last second, with my mouse hovering over the delete button, my eyes looked over to the left, and I saw that the item was indeed an amulet. And then, and only then, did I jump for joy. Because then I finally realized what a valuable item I had just gotten. An amulet that actually gives crit and block, and pierce. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the amulet does give like 3 pierce or something, which is really nice as well. Oh, and might I just add that having the amulet back then was a huge flex. Like, I would legitimately get people just walking up to me in game and just being like, wow, you actually managed to get it. And man, as a kid, that would just make me swell with pride. It really is crazy to think that I got the rarest drop in the entire game before I got the Hades robe. But I guess we all have our own paths or some shit like that. But anyways, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, everyone. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, you can always leave a like on the video, as it would really help me out, and I would really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below your guys' experiences farming the Amulet of Divine, because I know that some of you did it. Don't try to hide from me. And did you ever end up getting the drop, or no? Or were you just an idiot like me who almost ruined his chances of ever having the amulet just because you weren't paying attention? Let me know. But anyways, guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or stream, whenever that may be. So take care, and peace out.